client is working on a property today, and he was wanting to understand how to read a plat. So I thought I would help give some information. So this is a plat, plan sheet, survey, whatever you want to call it. And if you look here on the property, you'll see that you got a lot of different things here. You've got some notes over here that help explain where the property is located. It tells you a little bit about the flood property, whether it's in a flood zone or not. Some general notes, some survey notes here. Over here, you'll see you've got a legend which tells you, what all the different abbreviations are on here. There's a do not, call before you dig notice here. And then some other notes and whatnot, a lot of tree protection stuff on here. It talks about impervious area, which is the area that the home and the driveway and whatnot takes up, where water can't infiltrate into the property. So let's get over here to the plat really quickly and talk about a few things you see on here. First of all, as you can see, we're on Mill Creek Road, and you'll notice that you've got gas line and water line, power line running right here, okay? And then these little symbols here are trees. Then you got symbols like this. These are trees that were removed as part of the grading plan for this property, okay? And you'll see this line here with little dots every so often. That's a tree save barrier area. So if you notice, on the only trees that were taken were inside that area. And then that way when the grader comes in here, he's not taking out any trees that are existing and are not supposed to be removed as part of the plan. So next you get into the red line here, and that is actually the property boundary. And if you look here, it shows you the direction of each of those lines and the distance. So you can take a look at that. On a curve, it's a little bit different because it's done in arcs, so a little bit different. And there could be an arc table over here that tells you what each piece is. But when you zoom in here, you'll notice these green lines. These are topographic lines, which tells you how the land lays. And one of the things that shows you is that this particular property has a detention pond. So see this circle here. Whenever you see a circle in a topo map, that's either a high point or a low point. In this case, it's a low point because we're at 864 and 866 is right above it. This concrete box here, and MH stands for manhole, means that this is where the water would collect if it did. In this particular case, I don't think it will ever, but anyway, they've got it done that way. And that goes to a pipe out to what they call a head wall, and it tells you what the number is for the elevation for property water going into this and the elevation that can exit out of that. If you zoom in here, you'll notice that there's a 36-inch pipe that runs here. There's another head wall over here and a manhole over here that's coming from the other property over here. Now, when you have a detention or a retention pond, you have to have a fence. So you'll notice that this line with the X's on it, that is the fence that protects that property so that nobody can get in there and drown. Now if you get over in here, now we can look at where the actual building is. So here's the garage slab here, and here's the actual home that was built on the property. So you can get an idea of where the home sits on the property line. One of the things you'll see here is you'll see a 7.5-foot building line. That's a limit as far as where you can build the home on the property. So you've got a setback, is what it's called, from the property line in different directions, from the front, back, sides, and the rear. One of the things you'll also see here is, if I can scroll over to it for you, you see this where it says approximate location, a 75-foot stream buffer limit. What that means is 75 feet from here, there's a stream somewhere, and you can't disturb any property within that 75-foot buffer. Now, there's local, federal, state, different kinds of buffer regulations, so you have to pay attention to what government authority you're working with to figure out how far you can go from that property. And of course, the kind of stream makes a difference as well. So anyway, hope that's helpful. At least gives you some idea of how to look at this. You sort of have to just look at the symbols and the lines and then start deciphering what you've got. The good thing is that at least you have this in color. In the old days, it was all hatched and all you had to figure out what that looked like to see what you had. So anyway, hope that's helpful in reading a plat. Thanks.